So the first test is a couple of hours away, and we're going to be all excited for Test cricket to return again for South Africa. It's been a long, long time since we've seen some Test cricket. It's been over 6 months since we played New Zealand, and it's been even more than that, even longer than that, since we've seen our best 11 take the field in whites. So it's going to be quite an interesting game here that we are going to be witnessing between South Africa and the West Indies. And South Africa has obviously never lost a Test series on a multiple in multiple matches in a Test tour against the West Indies. The last match that they lost was 17 years ago. So it's crazy that South Africa is in a situation. They're obviously the favorites going into this particular series, but we also have to take into consideration that this is a very young, new team that obviously has changed quite a bit since the last time we played the West Indies in South Africa, with a couple of extra new additions to the side that are probably going to be getting a lot more game time than they did in the first series against the West Indies that these guys played. For example, you've got the likes of Tony de Zorzi that played the last test series against the West Indies. And you had Ryan Nicholton in the squad. He played one game and then he was dropped. Calvin didn't play that series. So there are a couple of new guys. Tristan Stubbs didn't either. So there are a couple of new guys in the mix when it comes to this particular series that we're obviously going to be excited to see. So this is going to be the preview of the first test between South Africa and the West Indies. And I'm excited for this one, guys. I'm excited to see what we can do as a test unit, how we've evolved as a test unit since the last time this group of players were together. India, obviously being the case, is the last time we saw this unit come together and play as a unit. So I'm hoping for obviously a 2-0 victory from a South African standpoint, but it's not going to be easy. The West Indies aren't an easy side to beat. And I'm hoping that everybody comes together and performs well as a unit. And I hope that the time together, the bonding time that they've had, has really brought them together as a unit, and that they can come here and perform brilliantly for us and make us all proud of them as South African cricket fans. But before we get going with today's show and before we get started, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. First and foremost, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future videos as well. We're on the road for 10,000 subscribers now, guys. So please try and help us get there. First 6,000, then 7,000. We'll count it down, but the 10,000 mark is obviously the main aim of the year as the next major milestone. I'd also like you guys to please download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description right now. The latest issue has been released, so you guys can go ahead and get that. The nice thing about it is every issue is free. All back issues, including the current issue as well. So please go ahead and download that. Also, don't forget to smash the like button on your way in. And once we finished streaming over here, once the stream has ended, please go into the comment section and go comment there as well and share your thoughts, your team lineups, who you'd like to see start. All of those things I'd like to see in the comment section once we've ended the stream. We're obviously going to reveal the ones that are watching this live. We are going to reveal what your guys' starting 11s are a little bit later on the show. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. I'm looking forward to discussing this with you guys. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your preview show. I'm your host, Khalid Moedin, and this is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with the West Indies versus South Africa. So as we know, let me just give you kind of a big picture when it comes to this particular game. What is the scene that I'd like to set? Now we know this is a rivalry that obviously where it goes back to 1992 when South Africa played that once-off Test match, where South Africa were victorious. Um, and in general, this has always been a one-sided series, a one-sided series when it comes to South Africa versus West Indies. We've won 22 out of 32 matches against the West Indies, and that is a crazy number. We only lost three, and obviously the others in between are drawn. And we've never lost a Test series when we've played a Test series where there's been multiple matches, of course. And the last time we've obviously lost to the West Indies is 17 years ago. So that's a crazy, crazy stat that we need to just throw out there as well. Um, it's crazy to see what South Africa is going to be doing. I think the main thing from a South African standpoint is this is the first time we're obviously going to be playing Test cricket since 6 months ago. So that's obviously something that we're going to be hoping for, that we can come up here and perform extremely well. And we're going to be relying on a lot of guys that have been in and amongst the top performers with regards to red ball cricket in South Africa. The domestic players such as the likes of Ryan Rickelton, Carl Verreynne, Tristan Stubbs, Tony De Zorzi are going to be heavily relied upon in this particular Test series with the bat. And I'm going to emphasize the batting performances because that's, I think, is where South Africa will win or lose this game. How we approach our batting, how well our players bat is going to be crucial. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on the likes of Hayden Markram and Temba Bavuma to kind of hold this batting unit together. Both of them performed relatively well, in actually quite well in the warm up game. I mean, Temba was a little bit on the slower side and Aiden was a little bit more on the attacking side. But overall, a good run out in the middle for the both of them. But they the guys, they the key people. I would even throw in my 2 cents and say that it's captain and vice captain over here, in my opinion. Those are my choices. If I had to pick a vice captain, it would probably be Aiden Markram. And those are the two players that are going to need to step up when it comes to this. Um, so uh, West Indies isn't an easy unit. It isn't an easy team to play. They are a tough team, and we could see that in January the West Indies beat Australia in a test for the first time in over 2 decades. Um, and that is something that is massive from a South African standpoint, from a West Indies standpoint. I mean, so they can win games if they can do everything correctly and they can bring things to their team together. They have the capabilities and the talent to be able to do so. So it's not like South Africa um, are going to just walk over them. I feel it's going to be heavily reliant on what 11 we're going to be picking, and that's why I did make the thumbnail. First test selection is crucial because that's going to give us a lot of insight into Coach Shukri's thinking, who he backs and who he doesn't back, and what his thought processes are. Now, we know that he is going to be picking based on conditions. The team that he'll pick will be the best team that he can pick for conditions. And he said that in the press conference yesterday that we covered on our live show. We've also uploaded that press conference to the channel for you guys to have a look at as well. So he did cover quite a bit in, and he was quite transparent with regards to his thought processes. He wasn't necessarily fully transparent with regards to who he's selecting, but he was quite transparent into his thinking. And if they're going to, if it's going to spin, like if this pitch is going to spin, I mean, Coach Shukri did say yesterday in his presser that everything tells them that it's going to spin, and the only question that they have is how early or how late is it going to spin. And that's going to be crucial a factor as well when it comes to the selection. um, the there's going to West Indies have picked three frontline spinners as well in their squad, which is a clear indication as well that there's going to be slower or drier pitches over here in the West Indies. But you can't. You also emphasize, Coach Shukri, that you can't just also base your selections based on what the other team has done either. They're going to have to look at that strip in the morning, and they've got enough experience in the side to be able to analyze the pitch and decide what they're going to do. So that's going to be a major factor with regards to that. Let me just start with what I think the probable 11 would be for the West Indies. I'm thinking that probably the opening batters will be Mikhail Lewis and Craig Brathwaite, and Kirk McKenzie at three, Alec Atanaze at four, Kavem Hodge, which is probably one of the big players in the side, or important players for them, at five. Then the choices are going to be with Jason Holder and Joshua De Silva in that 7 and 8 position. Gudakesh Moti and Jaden. It's going to be between Jaden Seals and Jamal Warikan, or Kema Roach, or Shamar Joseph. Those are the players that they're going to have to probably look at as probably the main players that they'll probably have to pick from. The decision over there is going to be what they're going to do with the team. Are they going to go with extra spinners? How many spinners are they going to select? And how many seamers are they going to select? And I think it's the same case for South Africa. I mean, we've got a situation with our seamers. We've got very good seamers in this side. I rate all of them. I'm just going to emphasize that I rate all of them, including Lungi Ngidi, Michael Pretorius, Nande Berger, KG Rabada. We are going to miss Andrich Nokia's space, unfortunately. And that is something that I'm hoping is something that we don't know. Sorry, Jed Peterson. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I must have blundered it over there. The pronunciation of the name. Athanase. I don't know how to pronounce it. So I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. I'll have to obviously learn some of these players. I don't know all of them as well. I'm still learning this team from a West Indies perspective. I'm still trying to learn the team and the pronunciations and stuff. And I'll hear that and I'll improve on it as the series goes along. So I'm sorry for botching that completely. Lungi hasn't played. Let's go back to South Africa. Lungi hasn't played since December 2022. So that's going to be a massive decision that they're going to have to make. Are they going to play him in this match, or are they going to go with drop him or leave him out of the team and play the extra spinner? Because it's very possible that they're going to do that. We know Coach Shukri emphasizes the importance of having balance in your side, and he likes an all-rounder that can bat. And Vian Mulder has been batting at number 5, and number 6. For the Lions last season, even batted at 4, I think, in a couple of games. So he's someone that has been working hard on his batting aspect of the game. But from a bowling perspective, he hasn't bowled that much. So if you select Vian Mulder, we know we can bowl. The big question is going to be how bowling fit is he, how ready is he, because he hasn't bowled much. Even in the shorter formats, he hasn't really bowled that much. So if he isn't going to bowl in this match, then the no-brainer would be not to select him. Then the no-brainer would be then to select someone like Ryan Rickleton at 7 if you're going to go with pure out-and-out batters. So that's something that I think we need to also take into consideration. Dane Pitt isn't shabby with the bat. I'm not saying that he's an all-rounder, but he has proven to be quite handy with the bat. He's no mutt with the bat. He's quite good in a way that I would say he's quite resilient. He has a lot of experience as well. He's put in some great performances for Western Province in the past. And he, obviously he's now at the Knights, but he's put in some good performances with the bat that have been crucial. So do we take that risk? Do we take a risk of playing him and Keshav Maharaj at 7 and 8? Because that's another possibility that South Africa can do with the lineup. They can go with Dane Pitt, Keshav Maharaj, Lungi Ngidi, Kagiso Rabada, and Nande Berger as their bowling lineup. But then it does look quite empty when it comes to the batting department. And if it's going to spin, runs on the board is going to be so important. So in my in my thought processes over here, do we just give us ourselves that extra bit of protection by with the bat by adding Ryan Rickleton, who had a very good warm up, probably our best batter in the warm up, other than Aiden Markram. So that is a question that's going to need to be answered. Otherwise, we're going to have to drop one of our seamers, and it will most likely be Lungingiri, and we play Kagiso Rabada and Nandeberger. Purely from my perspective, based on injury fitness in the past, and also based on pace. And the fact that Nande Berger is a left arm seamer, Kagiso Rabada, obviously we know what he's capable of. The two of them, are they going to be able to run out in the middle and bowl 15 overs each, 15, 16, 17 overs each, because they're probably going to have to bowl that or close to 20 overs if they can't get early wickets and the West Indies get stuck in and they really bat well. It's going to cause a hell of a lot of problems. It will tire both players out, and it can cause the unnecessary headaches for South Africa by not covering yourself with that all rounder or that extra bowling option. So they're going to have to make that decision, because I don't know if Aiden Markram is capable of bowling you 15 overs of spin, 20 overs of spin. Me personally, I haven't seen it very often. So they have to take that into consideration as well when they're coming, when they with the selector side, because another option would be to pick the seven batters and then not to play Dane Pitt and then play Aiden Markram with, give him some overs and give Thurston Stubbs some overs. That will be, I think, a very brave call from Coach Shukri if it does go in that direction. That will be a very, very brave selection. So that is something that we need to take into consideration as well, is the bowling loads on our players, if we're going to be doing that. I have seen quite a lot of people favoring, or fans favoring, that 7-4 split, and I'm not holistically against that. Just a bit worried about the bowling loads from a South African perspective if we do go for the 7-4 split. You can go with, then you got two options there. Then you can either play two seamers, two spinners, Dane Pitt at 8 and Keshav at 9, and then KG and Nandre, or you can go with all three seamers with Lungingiri, KG Rabada, and Nandre Berger, as then and Keshav Maharaj as your main spinner, and that's going to be something that is important. So let's have a discussion about that. I would like to know what you guys think. I've given my thoughts on this, and what I think about which direction South Africa can go when it comes to both. So that's something that I feel that is important. I just want to also highlight that Rabada is only 9 wickets away from getting 300 wickets in tests. So that's a massive milestone for him, and he'll equal Alan Donald as the second fastest South African to the landmark, if he can get there in 63 tests. So that's also another thing that we need to just remember from a South African standpoint. We know, I said earlier, this last time West Indies won a test against South Africa at home was in 2001, so you know that. Since then, South Africa have played 9 matches in the West Indies and have won 6 and drawn 3. So very good record away from South Africa as well against the West Indies. But this is a different team, so we're going to have to take a breathe over here and just focus with it when it comes to that. So, guys, let me know your thoughts. I'm going to be reading out your live chats now. Dishan says Ngidi needs to up his pace for tests. Really wish Nokia was here. I agree with you. Nokia is a massive loss. I wish he can come back to test cricket again. Aditya says Hardy, they should play Rickleton. It's enough. Sam says SA have a strong chance to play in the WTC final if they manage to win 7 test matches from 8 matches. We have to win 2-0 against the West Indies. It's very important that we do that we get closer and closer to that. We need to win all our test matches if we can. That's very, 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 very important from that perspective. This time, Sam says, I also want strong batting performance from our tailenders, because our lower order don't always put batting performance. I especially want Maharaj to bat with responsibility. He's senior in the team. I feel a lot more comfortable with him when it comes to the red ball arena. I don't feel as confident in him when it comes to the white ball arena. I do feel sometimes he's a little bit frantic in the white ball arena, but he looks a lot more measured and calm when it comes to red ball cricket. I mean, he has domestic hundreds to his name, so it's not like he hasn't been able to score runs at the domestic level. He has done so for the Dolphins. Um, Lawrence says we will be very daft if we don't try the 7-4 split this series. It's a very inexperienced West Indies side, and I don't see it as a massive gamble as such. We need to stop being one dimensional in terms of the 6-5 split. Sam says, why is a select players who is only off spin is an Afri- is any African players who is proper all rounder as well as bowling off spin? We haven't had many to do so. Those type of we haven't had many of those type of players. I mean, there aren't many around that have performed consistently enough over the last 3 seasons for us to go and select them. It's something that we are working on, I think, in South Africa. Um, Lawrence says we had the same questions in regards to JP Duminian. He was really good for us with the ball. Markram is more than good enough to help with the bowling load, says Lawrence. Jed says, I don't think we can do with just two out and out pace bowlers. We'll need someone who can hold up an end and can put some runs on the board. Stubbs and Markram and bowl some spin. So there we go. I think a majority of fans over here at least believe that that's the way we should go. Sam says two frontline spinners not needed. We can play two frontline spinners in Bangladesh. Jet says, I think both specialist spinners we have can put in quite a decent job. Um, Sam says, Hardy rate SA squad against Sri Lanka from August 31. Did they release that already? I don't know. I have to go check that. Hardy, did you watch Djokovic win a gold in the Olympics, Sanjay? He has completed the career Golden Slam, beating super young kid Alcaraz in straight sets. Now pundits have Djokovic as the best athlete of all time. I did watch that game. I'm a big Djokovic fan, as you guys know, but I do respect Alcaraz. I love a lot. When Djokovic probably retires, I'll probably be supporting Alcaraz. I like the way he plays tennis. So I did watch the Djokovic final. It was a really, really great to see. I've been watching quite a bit of the Olympics and enjoying a lot of it. I'm a big fan of the skateboarding as well, the surfing, just a little bit unorthodox over there. Obviously, the athletics I watched. I watched some of the basketball. It's amazing to see like an all star USA team play and get tough games. They haven't had an easy run of it. So they're not necessarily walking over teams as I thought they would. But that's always been the case, I feel, kind of, in a way. There's always been teams that can step up to them. I watched obviously the judo because, as you guys know, I'm a South African judo player, black belt. So, but I haven't done judo in years because of a serious knee injury. So it put me out of judo. So I'm a big fan of judo as well. So I watched that as well. I really enjoyed some of the fights, especially the mixed fights, team fights that happened as well. So I've been watching quite a lot of the Olympics and enjoying all of that. Also getting up with preseason Man United games. Lawrence, United's in trouble again this season with already injuries. Lawrence says if we stack our batting lineup with 7 batters and put on 450, we're already ahead in the game. And as such, 4 bowlers plus Markham should then be enough, in my opinion. And I think that is a good option because then what happens is you can split the roles between two, Stubbs and Aiden, if you don't want to give them a lot of responsibility and a lot of workload, take the workload off them. They can kind of split it between the two of them in a way. But I know how much Coach Shukri trusts Dane Pitt, and he's been in great form in the warm ups as well as against New Zealand. He was excellent. So it's going to be very difficult to leave him out, but we have to consider an extra batter, I feel, and we can go either way. Vian Mulder for that extra bowling option or Ryan Rickleton. But I do feel I'm sitting here and I do feel that Ryan Rickleton has deserved an opportunity to show himself, especially with the way he's been scoring recently. He's in great form recently. And also, he put in the work and the runs in the warm up game. Um, so it's very difficult to make the decision. It's not an easy decision. And I don't think it's either or is right or wrong. You can go with either one of those and you can get, I feel, a good result. Um, but perhaps in the second test they'll go with two all out spinners. Remember, this game might also be affected a little bit by rain, so that's also something that we need to consider. Holacek SA have released the squad for SA for Sri Lanka. See now. Um, Let me check quickly. I didn't check my email before the show. I was preparing for the show, making sure I got all my facts in order. Um, did I not talk about this already? I'm pretty sure I did. Let me just check this. I think I got this on our site. I don't remember, guys. It's been so long ago. I think when I released this last. Let me just check this. Yes, I did cover this, man. Isn't this the one when I released this on the website talking about Carl Verena and um yeah, I have it over here. So I'm sorry, guys. Verena and Brandt obviously going to lead the side. Let me just give you guys a quick update of that. Seeing that I am over here, I did do the story and I completely forgot about it. Doing too much by myself these days, guys. So please get involved with the Patreon account as well. It really helps me out. Then I can maybe get some more people to help me out on the channel. Also, contribute with some super chats. It really helps out. So we know that this is the squad. I mean, we got the ODI squad and Cal Verena, David Bedingham. It's good to see that David Beddingham's getting a shot in the White Ball Arena. Ethan Bosch is now getting a chance as well. Matthew Brzezinski, Deva Previs, Tony Rizorzi as well, Diane Halim, Tristan Loos, excellent. Michlali Mwapongwana, who did really well now against Zimbabwe. Andile Mohokani, big fan of him. Senator Mutasami, Andile Peklikwayo. I'm not so sure about that one. And Andile Semalani, big fan of him as well. And Luther Sepamla and Cody Yusuf. Good one, Cody Yusuf getting a chance. But in the 4-day arena, we've got Neil Brandt as captain, Marcus Ackerman getting an opportunity, Matthew Brzezinski, Teva Brevis is getting a chance in the 4-day arena. Chapang Titoli, who I think he really deserves his opportunity. Jean Duplessis, brilliant from that perspective. He's now at the Warriors. Patrick Kruger, Rivaldo Munsami, Michlali Mapungwana, Michal Pretorius, Sinitema Tlashile, Luther Sipamla, Prinlin Sobrayan. Sobrayan finally getting a chance in Rebel Cricket, Bayer Swanepoel, and Cody Yusuf. So that's going to be the squads. And then we've got the matches starting on the 31st of August with the ODI matches first, 2nd of September, and then 4th of September. Oh, these are all in Potch. And then the 4-day matches, 8th to the 11th of September, South Africa versus Sri Lanka in Kimberley. And then the 15th to the 18th of September in Benoni. So that's your update there. Very good squads. Very impressed with them. I like the players over here. I think every single person over here has deserved a chance. I just don't understand the continuous support of Andile Peklikwayo at the moment. He hasn't done anything domestically and definitely hasn't done anything for the Proteas. So I just think it's because of the lack of all-rounders. But I feel that they could have given someone like Jason Smith a chance, who's had a great 2 seasons of domestic cricket now in a row. So that's one aspect where I feel they could have gone with someone like Jason Smith. But it is what it is. Yeah, I'm also surprised not to see Drainer van Tonda as well, Sam. That is a surprise to me. Arvin says, hey, Khalid, will SA go with 7-4 split? I think a lot of us want that. I think I'd like to see a 7-4 split. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the team, but from a bowling loads perspective, from a seamer perspective, but I do feel that Tristan Stubbs and Aiden Markram have enough in them to be able to take the loads off our seamers. utilize them, use them, and Keshav Maharaj will bowl majority of the overs as well if it's going to spin early. Leclerc says, good to see Tristan Stubb, young 19-year-old fast bowler, brilliant player. I'm a big fan. So very, very interesting to see that. The West Indies pitches are also a lot similar to the Newlands is nowadays. So he should feel a lot more comfortable, says Lawrence. Sam says, yes, Khalid agreed. Why they again gone with Spichler? They should have moved on from him and should have given chances like Jason Smith and Dila Simalani, Dean Forrester. They've given Dila Simalani an opportunity over there. Dean Forrester, I think, will probably get selections after this season. If he can keep up his form that he showed in the last domestic Division 2 season, then I do think that they will start looking at him because he's extremely talented. We have an exclusive interview with him on this channel as well, so go ahead and go have a look at that as well. Lichle says, do you think Keegan Peterson move to the Titans will help him get back to the test team? Now, that's interesting because I do feel that with the Proteas selections, he'll get a lot more chances now to prove himself. I do think that it will help him a hell of a lot more than that he was getting at Boland. Boland weren't doing that well at all. And they're really struggling as a team to put together consistency in all formats of the game. So I feel that Titans will push him to the limit, and the high performance mentality that is at the Titans can really be good for him. Especially the analysis team there is very, very, very good. And the technologies that they have, etc., and the environment that they play in. So, and also having to fight for their places against other talented players is also very crucial and also very important to push him because that's what he's going to need. He's going to really need to revive his career now. He's had opportunities and he hasn't impressed when he got the chance for Test cricket. He'd get those 50s, but not push on to those big hundreds that we know he can score. Lila says, are you in favor of a return of selection panel in the Proteas setup? I like the way things are going at the moment. I think at the moment we've seen more youngsters get opportunities. I've seen more um, players that have deserved to be selected get selections. Um, I feel that I think that performances has been rewarded from a national perspective. I think there's synergy between the SAA emerging and the national side now. So I like the way these teams are being set up and selected at the moment. I wouldn't want to go to a panel. I think there's too much politics involved when there's a panel involved, and I do feel that having the coaches that are hands on with these players, that are going to scout these players regularly, and are familiar with so many different players. You see, what makes this particular, I'm saying this because I feel that Coach Shukri is such a key part in this because he's worked with majority of the last three generations of cricketers. So he knows talent very well. And he's coached with a hell of a lot of these players at various levels, high performance, SA emerging, SAA, and the Proteas now. And even at the domestic level, he's had a chance to work with these players. So his knowledge of the cricketers that are in our system is so crucial. I don't always feel that the panels, selection panels, have as much knowledge as Coach Shukri has when it comes to selections. Walter's ability to be able to motivate players and get the best out of them has been decent. And I think so far we've made a semi-final, we've made a final. We still in the running for the World Test Championship with a new side. Our SAA team and emerging sides are looking prominent and very good. So I'm happy with the way things are at the moment. And I think that the coaches know what style of cricket we want to play. They know what philosophy they're looking for. They know they know what type of player they're looking for. Especially from a mental perspective and a character perspective. They know exactly what they're looking for when it comes to a player. So they should be the ones that select, in my opinion. We're going to end off with Lawrence. He says the coach should pick his players, keep the selectors far away from the discussion. Our last two World Cups without selectors, we ended up in a semi-final and a final. Spot on. So, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. That's been our preview for the show. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. please subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos. I'd also like you guys to please download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. Please smash the like button. And also, once we've done streaming, please comment in the comment section and give me your lineups that you'd like to see, your 11s. Please leave them in the comment section. Also, give me your comments on how you think the game's going to go. And as well, share this video far and wide. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys again with a review show. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace out, everyone. Please click the notification, please, because I'm not sure what time I'm going to go live with the reviews yet, because it's going to be it won't be directly after the game. I can't wake up everybody in the house. So after the day's play, so I'm going to have to do it the next morning early. So I'm thinking about around about 10 o'clock to do my reviews um, of the day's play. So just keep your notifications bell on for that so you know when we go live. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Good luck to the Proteas. Peace out.